It's all over here at Metropolitan Police with Chippenham captain and goal scorer today, Spencer Hamilton. We've obviously been told a few times by a few of your teammates now that that's not a regular occurrence, but a great way to mark your return to the starting 11 after about a month on the bench, popping up with an equalising goal when your team really needed you.
Yeah, it's been very frustrating probably the last 4 weeks in terms of little slight, obviously, groin injury. So I was kind of chomping at the bit, and to be fair, I knew spoken to Walker couldn't kind of throw me back in because he was obviously playing well at the time. So it's great to be back in the squad today, giving the opportunity and more importantly naming the hat as well for the next round.
Towards the end of last season, Spence, you were sort of deployed as a right back, certainly coming down towards the playoffs and certainly into them as well. It started at centre half today, but that obviously didn't last very long with Eddie's injury, being put back to right back. You seem to do a job every time you go there.
Yeah, to be fair, my career, I've played for probably right back as often as I've played centre half at times. So it's a position I'm quite familiar with and do a job there. I'm probably never going to be the most up and down dynamic fullback, but in terms of trying to chip in with the odd goal, in terms of 1 in 100 probably games, defending well. But I think overall, it was great to obviously just be involved today, and obviously most importantly, the lads pulling in a result, especially second half.
Bit of a hat tip to the opposition. We always say in the FA Cup it's not easy to come to places like this. I mean, we haven't got the usual traditional excuses of the pitch not being quite the way we want it to be. It's a beautiful pitch out here at Metropolitan Police, but certainly for this first 45 minutes, their energy and their vibrancy certainly made it a very, very difficult task for you and the lads.
Yeah, we know, especially when we play teams, leagues below us, it's always going to be a test because in terms of we know in terms of hard work, tempo, we've got to try and set the tone, and we didn't do it for us 45. I think we kind of gave them chances. They didn't really carve us open, but it was just through our sloppiness of playing. It probably showed in terms of the first goal. So, we knew at half time it wasn't acceptable and wasn't good enough. Obviously it was great for myself to kind of get that early goal in the second half to kind of really set the tone and tempo and obviously getting the result in the end.
Not ideal preparation, Spence, on the way down today. Lots of traffic coming out of Chippenham and various other points along the way. We ended up turning up about sort of 45 minutes really before the start of the game, but even with the sort of impromptu warm-up and sort of throwing it all together at the start, in the end, I suppose class told the difference.
Yeah, we can't use getting here late as an excuse because to be fair to them, they kind of come up at the same time as warming up. So we knew in terms of our standards it was way below par the first 45. And to be fair to the lads, normally we prefer getting here later, so it's shorter in the change room. So again, we can't use it as an excuse, but we know the standards we've set, and we know the first 45 wasn't good enough. So overall, obviously, it's fantastic winning the game, and obviously into the hat, and obviously taking that into the next competitive league game.
Not your first rodeo at this level, Spen. The fourth qualifying round isn't exactly unfamiliar to you. You've been there a few times now, as you know. Teams from the National League now come in. It's still geographic, so with a lot of teams obviously still left in the hat from beneath us, a lot still at the same level, and of course now those big boys that are potentially coming in. At this point as a player, is it just about getting a side as low ranked as possible to give yourself the best opportunity to get through, or do you really want to go in the fourth qualifying round and take on one of the National League's big boys? Or does it really not matter to you?
It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I think the most important thing as all those players is that first round rather than the fourth qualifying. I've probably been there about 6 times down the fourth and I've never made first round. So regardless who we get, we know sometimes if it's National League, it's just going to be as tough as maybe a lower opposition because it's a different game. And at times, obviously, we struggled a little bit today, but it's whoever the opposition, we know if we can get at it, we can kind of give any team a good competitive game and obviously win the game as well.
Well, that kind of record, spent 6 and 6. Well done for dropping yourself to the bench for the fourth qualifying round, whoever we may have. I suppose it's very difficult to look past the fourth qualifying round, but with the FA Cup, it's always a little bit special. Chance to get into the first round proper now. Chippenham had Northampton a few years ago, and it was a big, big day for the club. In an ideal scenario, Spen, fourth qualifying round's done. You're in the hat for the first round. Who are you picking out of those league clubs?
So I think your likes of Derby County and those kind of teams sort of come into it quite early doors. So we would love to get an away draw probably first and foremost, just in terms of an experience for some of the younger lads, and myself would be great. If we're at home is great. It's a potential another opportunity, but all the lads would be buzzing for obviously good football league side as an away game, especially for us and also the fans. Good away day out. I think it'd be brilliant for the club.
Super. Well, Spence, you certainly earned your post-match beer today, my friend. Go in there, grab yourself a drink with your lads. Well done for today.
Brilliant.
Congratulations on getting through, and we'll see you in the fourth qualifying
round,
round, mate.
Cheers,
Well
chaps.
All wrapped up here at Metropolitan Police, where we have won 2-1, courtesy of a couple of very good assists from yourself, Joe. Obviously, man of the match today. Fantastic performance for yourself out there, Joey P.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it was a bit of a battle. Obviously, first half they got on top with the first goal, and it was we had to work our way back into the game. And luckily for us, Spencer's got his head on the ball, which doesn't come around very often. But fair play to the boy. And then we've pushed on and got the win, which is amazing.
Must be a real sort of a good thing for yourself, Joey, when you come down here and you look at the size of the pitch here with the width of the pitch, knowing that you're going to get a little bit of space to do what you like to do, get the ball on the floor, get at your man, get your ball into the box, and in the end the second goal came exactly that way. Big switch over from the right hand side, great touch from yourself, great work down the side, good delivery, and then there was Caine at the back stick to stick it in.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more to my game than just running, but yeah, to be fair, I do like getting the ball down and running with it. So yeah, the bigger the pitch, the better for me, and luckily for us it's worked out today, and I've managed to get a few big touches in and got down the line and pull it back to Caine. It's a great finish as well from them boys, and yeah, into the next round.
A couple of starts now on the spin for yourself, Joe. It must be nice, obviously, after the start of the season, playing your way in, sort of in and out with the side, a little bit inconsistent with minutes, but it seems like now we're really sort of getting a good start at yourself, and those 90 minutes are coming thick and fast, and you're impressive. Yeah,
well, I mean, you've always got to build yourself in. Obviously, it's my first season here, but got to stay patient, and obviously we've got quite a big squad here, and we've got a lot of good players, you know, and there's a lot of competition for places, so I think everyone's just got to be on their mettle every week, and that's what we want here. We obviously want to get into those playoffs and strive to be the best every week, so I mean, everyone pushing each other, I think it can only be a good thing.
Got the fourth qualifying round now, we're in the hat. A few people aren't, a few people are. Of course, we've got the National League sides coming in now as well. We just asked Spen the same question, but in the fourth qualifying round as a player, what do you look for? Are you looking for a draw against a side now a little bit maybe beneath the station, someone who have a nice crack against and maybe go in as favourites, or do you not mind shooting from the hip and going in against those National League sides?
I think you want to get someone around your level, maybe lower, if you can grab a team around that level. But I mean, do you know what? I think we'll take anyone. I think if you're coming in as the underdogs, you've got a chance. If you're coming in as the higher level team, I think you've got a chance as well. I think it doesn't really matter who's in front of us. We've just got to go with the same mindset of we need to go and win this game.
And we asked Ben the same question. We'll ask you, and I'm sure we'll ask everyone else. I know it's not a given. Fourth qualifying round, obviously the one game shootout to get into that first round proper. As part-time footballers and part-time sort of non-league football supporters, we all got a dream of that big day away at one of the big boys in the first round. If it comes down to Joey Parker's choice, first round tie, Chippenham are in the hat, where are you going?
Newport County away.
Love that. Old club?
Yeah, lovely place.
Or is it just on the doorstep?
No, it's not on the doorstep.
Perfect. Well, Joe, superb today, mate. A very, very well-deserved man of the match performance. Go and get yourself a drink, mate. You very, very much earned it. Congratulations
lovely.
From all of us,
cheers.
buddy. Well done.
Thanks a lot.
Wrapping up coverage here at Metropolitan Police with Chippenham match winner today, Caine Bradbury. Caine, this time last year it was your heroics in the FA Youth Cup that really sort of brought you into prominence in the eyes of Chippenham fans. Today, for the first team in the third qualifying round, you're bagging the winning goal to take us through to the fourth qualifying round, mate. How's that feel?
Mate, it's a very good feeling. I thought that I started deeper today, and I didn't think I played too well in the first half. And I just wanted to obviously make up for it second half, and just arriving late into the box, getting a good contact on the finish was just buzzing to get through for the boys.
Not great preparations, Caine. Obviously, we're a little bit late to the ground today, yeah. But by the time you guys had got through your warm-up, that first 45 minutes, I mean, it seemed like their energy looked like it was going to run us off the pitch at times. But yeah. At half-time, as a young player, Caine, what kind of is running through the mentality of the dressing room when we get in there 1-0 down against a side from a league below, knowing that we probably should be doing better? Was it a calm and quiet talking to, or was it a bit of a kick up the bottom and obviously came out second half and reacted either way?
I'd probably say the second one, to be fair, but it was needed because the intensity in the first half wasn't really good enough, and we were just way off it. They were playing well, and they looked a decent side. But as soon as we got that goal second half, all over them, they barely had a sniff, barely touched the ball second half. The intensity was good. It was enjoyable to be out there, to be honest.
Obviously, we saw each other last night as well. Down on the Friday, we had the youth team managed to get through 3-1 against Slimbridge, a success for both sides.
Yeah.
Obviously, coming into the first team setup, Caine, it must be very good for yourself, for the likes of yourself, for Noah, for Kinger, for Landon when he's been in. That since Gary's come in, there's not just a trust that you guys can come in and play minutes, but that you can come in and be a real big part of the plans coming into games. Yeah. So much so to the point that the ultimate respect, I suppose, was shown on Tuesday with yourself being dropped to the bench to be fit for today, as this is the most important game. You've come through 90 minutes and come up the match winner. You're paying dividends.
Yeah, no, it's obviously I started to get involved last year in the playoffs, and I felt like I was enjoying it, but I don't know, it was a tough challenge for me. But spending pre-season with the boys and then getting involved at the start of this season, I've grown into it a bit, and it's I wanted to be involved for a long time, but I wasn't ever just intense enough. But now it's going well for me, going well for King, going well for Noah. Obviously it sends a message to the younger boys, hopefully they can see how well we're doing and getting involved. And it's not just on the bench coming on for 10 minutes, we're starting games, impacting games. And yeah, it's hopefully the boys are looking up, working hard, and they'll be here one day as well.
I'm sure it's not escaped your attention, Caine, that you're now the joint top goal scorer for the football club. Today, although the technique was absolutely on point, it was probably a little bit closer to the goal than we've become accustomed to. But
yeah.
You know, for those that may not have seen a lot of Caine Bradbury, and this is probably their first exposure to your game, have goals always been a part of that? Is it, you know, you seem to be playing up on that sort of that deep lying sort of midfield position and getting right in there in the mix every time, and
yeah,
we're certainly seeing some goals out of you.
Well, I've always loved being closer to goal because I back my technique and my shooting ability. But I'm used to playing a bit deeper. But as soon as I've been brought in here, I've been like in and around the number 10, a bit closer to goal, and just getting my shots off is all I'm focusing on because at the moment it's going well for me.
Obviously going to be a little bit different for yourself, Caine, than it is for the other lads because they've been around the game a long time. But you know, the fourth qualifying round of the FA Cup now, undoubtedly this is going to be the first time that you found yourself here in your young career, but I'm sure it won't be the last.
Yeah.
Fourth qualifying round, we know what happens if we win this game. We move into the hat for the first round and we've got the big boys in there. Fourth qualifying round, hopefully we just want to try and get someone that we can get through and have a good shot. But in that first round, Caine, if we get there, I say when we get there, who are you looking for? You know, a league club, anything from League One down. Is there any favourite for yourself?
Just anywhere with a big crowd, big team or big stadium.
Superb. Well, Caine, you're a match winner today, as you were again from previous times. Congratulations from all of us. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. Excellent performance, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers,
well done, mate.